Welcome, my dear students. Welcome, my dear students, to another lecture in the research, uh, how to write a research report, and how to make a business research. Shall move forward right now. Just we share the screen. Then we'll move forward to another new point. And here we go. And of course, we'll work on the sample. What is the meaning of the sample and the sample design? Because it's very important for us to work on it. What do we mean by sample and what do we mean by the sample design? Sampling is concerned with the selection of a subset of individuals from within a substantial or a statistical population to estimate characteristics of the whole population. So, what is the meaning of this? Usually, we take a part of the society or the population and we check that part is we call it the sample. So, as example, if I have a village, of course, the village I want to see to check one of the characteristics of the people in the village. As example, are they are sick with type of any kind of disease or whatever. So I will take a sample of this village. Sample, when it is small, it doesn't give significance results, but the sample must be large as much as can. Sampling is concerned, like we see here, with the selection of a subset individuals from within the statistical population to estimate the characteristics of the whole population. Two advantage of sampling are the cost is lower and the data collection is faster. Yes, because I will take the sample from the whole population. For that reason, I didn't check the whole population. I will not go. As example, let us say now we'll check what the ladies prefer. They prefer kind of detergents like the any kind of detergent. Let's say X detergent or Y detergent for washing. So I will not go and ask all the ladies in the village or in the city. That will cost too much. For that reason, I will take a sample. The sample which I will take, it will reduce the cost because you will not see all the population. You will not see all the population, but you will see some of the people there only. For that reason, we say here the definition. According to a sample design is the theoretical basis and practical means by which we infer the characteristics of some population by generalizing from the characteristics of relatively few of the comprising of the population, which is the sampling. What about the steps of sampling? What are the steps, the sampling steps? What are the sampling steps? They are defining the population, state the sampling frame, put the frame of the sample, identify the sample unit, state sampling method, determine the sample size, spell out the sampling plan, select the sample. So those are steps in sampling design. The first thing I just want to talk about today is the population. Population from where I will take the sample. From where I will take the sample. So if I'm saying I'm checking the women, they like what type of detergent in a small village. So they like the detergent X or Y. So in that case, I will go for a sample. The population is the ladies of that woman, of that village, the ladies who are in this village. And the sample is part of these ladies. So here a population can be defined as including all people or items with the characteristics one wish to understand, because there's very rarely enough time or money to gather information from everyone. For that reason, we will not take the whole ladies of the village for the interview or for the questionnaire or to ask them which kind of detergent they like. Do they like the detergent X or the detergent Y? For that reason, I will take a sample. So because this, of course, is logically that will reduce the cost. I will not test everyone. I will take as example from the whole village 100 or 200 ladies, but I will not take the whole 10,000 or 15,000 ladies. And that, of course, will reduce the cost as well of gathering the information. Okay, sometimes that which defines population is obvious. So this is another point. So this is the population. The population is from where I will take the sample. Is the total, I take the sample from the population. I would choose a sample from the population. The second thing today we'll talk about is the sampling frame. Sampling frame. So what do we mean by the sampling frame? In the most of the straightforward cases, such as sentencing on of a batch of materials from production, acceptance sampling by lots, it is possible to identify the measure every single item. Okay, so we want to say that the sampling or the sampling frame is very important because it shows us exactly how will be my sample, what's the population and what is the sample. Okay, we seek sampling frame which has the property that we can identify every single element and include any in our own sample. The most straightforward type of frame is a list of elements of population. So we'll take a list of the elements of the population, preferably the entire population which I'm studying with appropriate contact information. For example, in an opinion poll, possible sampling frames include an electoral register and a telephone directory. Some, of course, there will be some problems arises from because taking information about all the population is very hard. Non-coverage and incompetences, appearances of cluster of elements, inclusion of foreign elements in the list. Now we have two types of samplings. If I told you, ask you, we have two types of sampling. We have a probability sampling and non-probability sampling. So what's the difference between probability and non-probability sampling? The probability sampling is one which every unit in the population has a chance. The chance here, the probability is greater than zero of being selected in the sample. So they have randomly we select from the population, and they all have an equal chance to be represented and to be taken. As example, if you put your hand, if you choose like one envelope from 100 envelopes, and this probability can be accurately determined, the combination of these traits makes it possible to produce unbiased. So when you do like this, when you use probability distribution, there will be no bias. Okay, example, we want to estimate the total income of adults living in a given street. We visit each household in the street, identify all the adults living there, and randomly select one adult from each house. For this, we select one random from each house, one person from each house. But the non-probability sampling, no. We have here, we put, like we determine how many units we'll take or how many samples we will take. Non-probability sampling is any sampling method where some elements of the population have no chance of selection. There are some times referred to as out of coverage or undercovered, or where the probability of selection can be accurately determined. Can't be accurately determined. We'll move now to the sampling method. I just want to say also that here the non-probability sampling is biased, is full of bias, because here you don't give equal chance for all the units to be chosen as a sample. You don't have this option. You don't have this option. Sampling method. Within any of types of the frame identify this, here we go to the sampling method. Sampling, simple random sampling. So the sampling methods, we'll see now the types of the sampling methods. The first type is simple random sampling. What about this kind of sampling? In a simple random sample of a given size, all such subsets of the frame are given an equal probability. Yes, each element of the frame thus has an equal probability or chance of the selection. Yes, that's true. That's true because here we give all equal chance. The second type of sampling, we call it systematic sampling. What is the systematic sampling? Systematic sampling relies on arranging the study population according to some ordering scheme and selecting elements at regular interval through that order list. So as example, I would say, if I'm taking systematic sampling, I would say every 5 houses, I will go and visit the house number 6 and take a sample from the house number 6. This we call it systematic sample. Or every 10 meters, I will take a house. Or every 10 meters, I will take, if I'm checking the medicines, tablets, every 15 minutes, I will take one tablet to check. Or every 1 kilo, I will check like that way or so on. So this we call it systematic sampling. The third type of sampling is called stratified sampling. Stratified sampling, where the population embraces a number of distinct categories. The frame can be organized by these categories into separated stratas. So I will have separated stratas. I can divide the society into categories or the population into categories. From each category, I will take a sample. That's we call it stratified sampling. So first, you depend on dividing the population into distinct independent stratas. Can enable researchers to draw inferences about specific subgroups. That's the first thing. You divide the population into different strata. As example, 3 types, 4 types of strata. Then secondly, utilize stratified sampling method can lead to more efficient statistical estimates. Since each stratum is treated as independent population, Different sampling approaches can be applied to different stratas as example. Okay. But still there is drawbacks in the stratified sampling. How come? First, identify strata and implementing such as an approach can increase the cost and complexity of sample selection. That's true. Second, when examining criteria, stratifying variables may be related to some, but not to others. That's true. A stratified sampling approach is most effective when their conditions are met. Variability within strata are minimized, variability between strata are maximized, the variable upon which the population is stratified are strongly correlated with the desired independent variable. We'll stop here for questions. Thank you.